Right, I'm going to carry on from the previous video where we looked at some rectangles. Okay, now we've got a square here. Okay, here's a square. It is 52 inches all the way around. Okay, so if you think if it's 52 all the way around, then surely one side must be 13. Each one of these must be 13 inches, because 13 and another 13 and another 13 and another 13 makes 52. Now, maybe what you're thinking in your head is you know that to divide that by 4, okay? Because each of the 4 sides are the same length. What you're actually doing is this. I'm saying the length, I'm trying to find the length, is the perimeter, which in this case is 52. I just divide it by 4. So you're thinking, well, that is what you've done. There's an equation. You were doing that bit of algebra. There's the algebraic equation, sorry. And again, I could have written it like this. Remember from graphs, y equals x over 4, where I could call x the perimeter and y the length, the result. Okay, remember the important thing, x is the input. What's the perimeter? I get the length out of that by dividing by 4. Okay, so the length of each side is 13. Now then, have a look up here. Now I've got a perimeter of 44 inches. Okay, well surely then all the way around must be 11. Yeah, 11 all the way around. Okay, because we divided by 4. If we're going to increase each length or each side by 5, then aren't they now 16? Okay, so each side is 16 all the way around. So you've got to think, okay, what's 4 lots of 16? So the new perimeter must be 64. Okay, remember the old perimeter was 44. Okay, the original question up here. Okay. Now, you can also notice, and somebody in the class actually said this. They said, well, I just added 20 to the original perimeter and, of course, got 64. And the reason why they said that was because, okay, if the original one, suppose I don't even know what the original side is, all right? I know I'm increasing it by 5 each time. That's an extra 5 on each one of these sides. 4 sides, isn't that 4 lots of 5 increase, isn't that 20? So can you see, that's why this student said, I know what the original perimeter is, if I just add 20, that's the new perimeter, because I'm just increasing each side by 5. Both make 64, so again, it's how you want to do it, you know. Are you saying to yourself, okay, I know this is 11, I've increased it by 5, okay, based on the original, and then I times it by 4. And a lot of you were doing that, okay? But somebody might have been thinking, well, here's the original, okay? 4 lots of that, okay, is the 44, but also 4 lots of the increase, if I make it 5 bigger, right, because I've got an extra 4 lots of an extra 5 inches, well, if you put those two together, that's for the 44, that's the 20, that makes the 64, okay? But for those who know the distributive law, okay, this is kind of what you're doing, look, okay? Suppose I don't add that 11 and 5 together, the distributive law is this. What's 4 times 11? 44. What's 4 times 5? 20. When I add them together, because that's what it is, I'll get 64. So that's a good explanation there of the distributive law. Okay? Anyway, let's keep on going. Last one. Right, bit of algebra maybe. Aha. A square, another square. Perimeter, 60. Then surely, again, if I just do this, you know, I know to divide it by 4 to get the length of the side. It's a square. So, each one of these is going to be 15, isn't it? 15 inches, okay? Right, okay. Now then, if each one is increased by x, I'm going to say this. Okay? Right? Represent the new perimeter in terms of x. Well, again, remember, the perimeter is 4 times the length of one of the sides. Well, if this is now the new length of the side, because I'm adding x, okay, to the original 15, remember 15 is the length of the side at the moment, if I add this unknown x inches, as long as I still multiply it by 4, then that's it, okay? That is the new perimeter in terms of x. Now, if you wanted to be clever and did the distributive law, what's 4 times 15? That's 60. Now again, remember, that's the original. Okay, that's the original. What I'm adding is this, again, what's 4 times x? 4x. I'm adding 4 lots of this extra little bit. The last question, okay, I knew it was 5. I was adding 5. I knew what the original was. I added them together. Okay, but I knew there was 4 lots of them. Okay, 4 lots of that 5 made 20. Well, now I'm saying I don't know what it is, but I know there's 4 lots of it. Okay, here's an extra x, here's an extra x, here's an extra x, and here's an extra x. 4 sides. Here is the expression for me increasing, okay, one of the sides by x, but don't forget all 4 of the sides. Okay, hence the original plus this 4 lots of this extra bit I've added on. Okay, but either one of those will do, I think, for an answer.